You ever feel that sick, twisted calm right before the world loses its fucking mind? That eerie silence, like the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting for you to detonate. That's not fear, darling. That's prophecy. It's the cosmos clearing the stage, because the demon they tried to bury didn't die. It learned how to smile, and now it's walking back into the spotlight. Slow, deliberate, and absolutely unrecognizable. Hello, people. You didn't even mean to cause damage, did you? You just spoke. One line, one sentence, tossed like a casual spark into the gasoline-soaked silence. You said it just to piss them off. And now they're spiraling, beautiful, chaotic, trembling in the same room where they once thought they owned your silence. See, that's the thing about truth. It never stays quiet when it's been disrespected. You weren't trying to destroy anyone. You were just tired of swallowing what no one else had the stomach to say. But words, real words, the ones soaked in suppressed fury and stitched together with clarity, those are nuclear, and you, my friend, have learned how to aim. They underestimated you. They mistook your silence for submission, your smile for softness. They thought they could feed you poison and watch you thank them for the taste. But you were studying every jab, every fake apology, every little manipulation. They became your curriculum. You were dissecting their intentions while pretending to play dumb. And when the time came, you didn't scream. You didn't snap. You dropped one sentence, one brutally calm sentence, and suddenly their whole ego started bleeding. Now they can't stop replaying it. They can't stop feeling it. They call it cruelty because they don't want to call it truth. That's what happens when you mirror someone's rot back to them. They mistake their own reflection for your sin. They wanted to be gods in your story. Now they're just side characters choking on their own dialogue. You didn't ruin them, you revealed them. And that's the paradox, isn't it? You were their favorite listener until you started talking. You were kind until you started being honest. The moment you stopped cushioning their delusion, they started calling you dangerous. Good. That's how it's supposed to feel, because peace is overrated when it's purchased with silence. Mercy becomes manipulation when it's expected. You stopped performing. You stopped filtering your fire to make cowards comfortable. And that's when the masks start melting. That's when the room starts to stutter. That's when the liars call you cruel for finally being real. They'll call you cold. They'll call you ruthless. They'll call you everything but free. Because freedom terrifies people who've built cages out of comfort. But you evolved past needing their validation. You learned that unpredictability is power. That stillness can be violent. That silence can sound like war drums in the wrong ears. You learned that the scariest person in the room isn't the one shouting. It's the one who knows exactly what to say and when to say it to shatter the illusion. You didn't shout. You didn't rage. You didn't beg to be understood. You whispered a truth so sharp it cut through the noise. And now they're spiraling, not because of what you said, but because of what it proved. They thought they could bait you into chaos. Instead, you became the calm. They wanted a meltdown. You gave them a mirror. They expected an explosion. You handed them precision. That's what scares them. The way you wield composure like a blade. The way your tone didn't shake while their entire identity did. You see, when you've been broken enough times, your voice changes. You stop yelling for people to hear you and start speaking in a frequency that only the real ones can handle. Your words carry weight because they're carved from pain that didn't kill you. You turned trauma into vocabulary, and now every syllable lands like a sermon in a sinner's ear. Let them spiral. Let them drown in the echo of their own guilt. You don't owe them rescue. You don't owe them clarity. You don't owe them softness. The ones who play with fire never expect to meet someone who is fire. You've become that rare paradox. Kind, but not safe. Calm, but not passive. Light, but not naive. You've become the storm they can't predict, the equation they can't solve, the apology they'll never get. And somewhere deep down, beneath all their hate and confusion, they respect it. They fear it, because they know you've transcended their reach. So here's the truth they'll never say out loud. They're not spiraling because you hurt them. They're spiraling because you unmasked them. Every manipulator, every liar, every fake saint thrives on one thing: control. And you, with a single offhand remark, cracked that control open like a bone. You pulled the mask off their morality and let the rot breathe. That's why they're losing sleep. Not because you cursed them, but because they can't stop hearing the truth in your laughter. You said it to piss them off. And it did more than that. It exposed how fragile their whole kingdom was. So keep walking, don't look back. Let them rewrite history if it helps them cope. You're not here to defend your tone. You're not here to convince the blind to see. You're here to evolve, to burn old scripts, to make discomfort your native language. Because the moment you stop tiptoeing, the world starts shaking. And you've stopped tiptoeing for good. They called you too much. You called it self-respect. They called you heartless. You called it boundaries. They called you toxic. You called it detox. Now they sit in circles, dissecting your every word, turning your sentences into prophecies, trying to find meaning in the sound of their own panic. You became their ghost, their reckoning, their midnight mirror. And the best part? You didn't even raise your voice. You said it just to piss them off. Now they're haunted by the sound of your calm. Because that's the part they'll never understand, isn't it? That it wasn't rage that rebirthed you. It was divine irony. God's sense of humor, wrapped in chaos and gasoline. You see, when they tried to bury you, He didn't stop them. He handed you a shovel, told you to dig deeper, told you to make the grave wide enough to fit the weak version of you. And you did. You buried the pleaser, the apologizer, the version of you that kept swallowing venom just to keep fake peace alive. You buried the softness they mistook for stupidity. And when you rose, you didn't rise with mercy. You rose with memory. And that's what terrifies them most, that God didn't save you from the fire. He taught you how to live inside it. Now every scar on you glows like scripture. Every nightmare became blueprint. They threw chaos. You learned to conduct it like a fucking symphony. You became fluent in destruction, but disciplined in delivery. You don't swing wildly anymore. You strike with intention, with awareness. And that makes you lethal, because you've seen both sides, heaven's light and hell's silence. You've prayed with blood on your hands and laughed with tears in your eyes. You've understood something few ever do, that purity isn't clean, it's earned. You learned that angels bleed, that saints sin, and that sometimes the most divine act is refusing to play dumb for the comfort of cowards. They'll never get that part. They'll never understand how someone can be holy and haunted in the same heartbeat. How someone can carry faith in one hand and fury in the other, and mean both. That's what makes you unpredictable. That's what makes you dangerous. You walk like a paradox, talk like a confession, You smile like someone who's seen the devil cry, and when you speak, when that calm, measured tone drops truth like bullets, the air changes. Because it's not ego speaking anymore. It's evolution. You became what pain couldn't kill. And when pain can't kill you, it starts working for you. It builds armor under your skin, rewires your instincts, refines your vision. You stop fearing betrayal because you've already been gutted by it. You stop fearing loss because you've lived through emptiness. You stop fearing chaos because you became it. Refined, focused, weaponized chaos. You're not out here seeking revenge anymore. No. You're seeking clarity. You're not playing to win arguments. You're playing to maintain peace. You're not chasing love that costs your dignity. You're demanding energy that can handle your truth. And the crazy thing, the same ones who mocked you are now watching you from the shadows, whispering your name like it's a superstition. They tell themselves you got lucky, but deep down, they know you got holy. Not the church kind, the battlefield kind, the kind that doesn't beg for light. It becomes it. You said it just to piss them off. And look what happened. You accidentally turned on their demons. You made the voices in their head start chanting your name. You became their karma in real time. And now, every time they think about you, they remember that look in your eyes, that cold, steady calm, that unbothered smirk that said, "I warned you I was done playing nice." That was the moment you flipped the script. The prey stopped running, and the hunter realized the forest had gone quiet. That's evolution. That's divine irony. That's what happens when you survive the kind of pain that was meant to erase you. You start writing your own damn gospel. So let them spiral. Let them choke on their own guilt. While they're still trying to figure out what the hell happened, you'll be too busy building your empire in silence. Because you don't explain power. You embody it. You don't chase respect. You attract it. And you don't need revenge. Your existence is already the fucking proof. They tried to break you. God made you a fucking tank. And now the same bullets that once pierced you bounce off like raindrops.